Okay, so here we go. We're recording, and why don't we go ahead and get started? About 4 minutes after. So welcome everyone. My name is Dan Pontius. I'm the Housing Policy Coordinator with the Baltimore Metropolitan Council. And Pete, why don't you introduce yourself to get folks who are associated with the program here.
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. Pete Symbolic, Managing Director with the Baltimore Regional Housing Partnership, and BRHP, as you'll learn, administers both the voucher assistance associated with this program, as well as the mobility counseling services provided to households who participate.
And I don't see folks from the other housing authorities that are participating. It's probably getting to be old hat with folks, but if anyone joins, please introduce yourself. But why don't we go ahead and get started so we can get to questions if folks have them. So welcome to the pre-proposal information session here. Let me do a little here's our agenda. It's pretty straightforward, welcome and introductions, which we're doing right now. Then I'll give hopefully a relatively quick overview of the Regional Project-Based Voucher Program and this current RFP. Since there is not kind of an immediate 9% low-income housing tax credit round from the Maryland DHCD, we are putting this RFP out on a rolling basis, looking to see if there are developments or existing properties out there that would like project-based vouchers. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to consider proposals on a rolling basis through August 24th. After I get through the presentation, we can take any questions and try to clarify things over this Zoom session. And then any additional questions you might have after this session, feel free to email them to me at this email address. And we will post answers periodically on the BMC RFP webpage. We'll take questions through August 9th and get them up before the deadline, get any final answers up before the deadline, and then we'll make awards through about mid-September. So just some quick basics about the program. It's 8 collaborating agencies, including my own agency, the Baltimore Metropolitan Council, and then 7 housing agencies, including Pete's agency, the Baltimore Regional Housing Partnership, and then 6 specific housing authorities from the cities of Baltimore and Annapolis, and then the 4 counties on your screen there. This idea came about through a HUD Sustainable Communities program called we called the Opportunity Collaborative. We saw that there was a lack of affordable housing near where jobs were growing in the region, and where there were safe communities served by high quality, low poverty public schools. We got a seed grant from HUD in 2015, and now the housing authorities are sustaining the program with additional vouchers and funding from my central coordination. What the housing agencies do is pledge some of their tenant-based vouchers that are then converted to project-based, and we award them through RFPs like this one. This is our 9th RFP. This is you'll sort of see how this is where all the vouchers come from. We now have a pool of 193 vouchers region-wide. And we have 80 vouchers remaining. There are 80 vouchers available through this RFP. 113 vouchers are either in use or moving forward. We actually have 34 vouchers in use right now, more than 30 families benefiting from those new affordable units. And then there's another, about 80 units in another 8 developments moving through the pipeline right now. This RFP applies to all kinds of different types of housing, new construction, existing housing, multifamily, scattered site, as long as all of them are in BRHP opportunity areas. The vouchers need to create new affordable units, not just replace existing ones, and they can't be restricted to seniors or persons with disabilities. New in this RFP, we are only going to be accepting proposals for developments or existing housing within opportunity areas as designated by the Baltimore Regional Housing Partnership, the green areas on this map. For all the RFPs until this, we had an option for proposals outside of those opportunity areas, but that never actually panned out, and so we've just sort of simplified things. This program is an incentive for deep affordability in areas of opportunity around the metropolitan area. In addition, even within those green areas, we are looking for zoned elementary schools with 51.8% students qualifying for free and reduced meals. That's excluding the top two, the highest two quintiles of high poverty elementary schools. So to kind of go through this in a little more detail, these are the tools. This is how you can specifically see whether the property that you're looking at or that you own is in a BRHP opportunity area. There's a search tool, which is geared toward, the search tool is actually geared towards BRHP tenant-based voucher holders. So don't pay attention to the rent range that this tool yields. You need to look at Appendix A of our RFP for the rents for this particular zip code or census tract. You can also just, the second link here is a map that you can just kind of zoom in and out on to look for your site. This is the scoring rubric. Because we're only accepting proposals in opportunity areas, the number has changed. It's not a nice even number anymore. There's a total of 63 points possible, and then what we're looking for is a minimum score of 38 to be awarded vouchers. Any twin proposal, we will score the non-senior components together as one development. And then there are additional requirements for management and financial plan that are threshold requirements that you can look for in the RFP. But as you can see, we're looking for developments that are that have opportunity for low-income residents of those developments. We're looking for a mix of incomes so that it's not concentrated low-income residents. We have a design criteria as well. I'll go through those in some more detail here. The opportunity points up to 33 total points. We're looking to incentivize developments in Baltimore City or County. So if you're in an opportunity area in either of those two jurisdictions, that's an automatic 5 points. And then you can see there's a number of different criteria for different points, so I'll go through as well. First of all, in terms of unit size, we're looking for housing units. We're looking for a high concentration of 2 and 3 bedroom units. So to get any points in this section, you need at least 80% 2 and 3 bedroom units, and at least 20% 3 bedroom units. And then if you have kind of all 2 and 3 bedroom units and at least half 3 bedroom units, you can get the full 8 points under this section. As I mentioned, we're also looking for, we're kind of screening out high poverty elementary schools in the top 2 quintiles on this map. This is a map of 2021. Rates of free and reduced meal eligibility. This Maryland Department of Education report card is the place you can go to search for the school that serves your site and look to see what the free and reduced meal rate is if you want to look to see what your score would be and make sure that you're not above that 51.8% threshold. We're also looking for sites that have a good number of jobs within 10 miles. There's this nifty Census Bureau tool. In one of the appendices of our RFP, there's some screenshots to kind of show you how to do this, but you can essentially through this tool search for your site and set a radius of 10 miles and see what your number of jobs within that 10 miles. This site has 363,000 jobs, according to this screenshot of this search. We're also looking for alternative transportation as much as possible. The more robust the transit service is for your site, the more points you get here. And so, for example, this you can look on Google Maps. This is just sort of a Google Maps search for Robinson Overlook, which is 1 mile from a transit stop. So that would mean three points under this rubric. Other opportunity site factors, we've got up to 5 points for, we're looking for the presence of sidewalks so that people can walk pleasantly around the site. Other environmental factors such as, looking for a pleasant place to live, and we're looking for not an existing high concentration of housing choice voucher holders or publicly assisted housing in the census tract. As I mentioned, we're looking for a mix of incomes. That's up to 20 points. 10 of those points are for the share of units that these project-based vouchers represent in your development, with most points 10 points if you keep that under 20% of your units. The other 10 points in this section go to the range of total incomes in the area. For large developments of more than 80 units, we're really looking for a high concentration or not a high share of market rate units, with most points going if you have 50% or more of your units market rate for large developments. For small developments of 39 units or fewer, we look at the poverty rate of the census tract, so more points for a lower poverty census tract. And then for the middle range, 40 to 80 units, you can get the full 10 points for less market rate, say like 25% market rate would get you the full 10 points. And then finally, we've got 10 points for design. We're really looking for renderings and photos or photos of your development, of your structure or structures. And we're looking for unit floor plans so we can take a look at what the units look like. Those are each up to 4 points here. And then we're also looking for other exterior features of the development for another 2 points. We have varying payment standards for the vouchers based on the different participating housing authorities. Here's a map that shows the 2-bedroom voucher payment standard. There is a, you need to look really at the Appendix A in our RFP to look for what the payment standard is for your particular area. These contracts can be for up to 20 years and can be renewed for another 20 years. Really important, I know in terms of applying for low-income housing tax credits, oftentimes you're calculating what the utility rate for each tenant would be, but there's just no wiggle room under HUD regulations. For these particular units served by project-based vouchers, you need to use the utility allowance that the local housing authority uses, so that if the tenants are responsible for utilities, the payment to you needs to be reduced from that payment standard in Appendix A by that housing authority's utility allowance for the type of unit that you're offering. And we're requiring at least 5 vouchers per development. The way filling these units works is that BRHP will refer all prospective tenants. BRHP is a regional voucher administrator. They've got more than 4,000 tenant-based voucher holders around the region. So they know how to do this counseling for folks who might be moving to potentially a different area from where they currently live. So they'll be doing counseling and referring them and drawing them from the waiting lists of the participating housing authorities. You can target these units at 30% AMI, but not below. And BRHP will do the income verification under the 2022 QAP, there's no need for the owner to also verify the income. And you do apply your own tenant screening for the tenants, but we do require under our RFP that you not apply a minimum credit standard, not consider student loan or medical debt, accept BRHP's criminal background screening, and not deny prospective tenants for being over income, since Maryland DHCD is now allowing these units to qualify as 30% units, even if the tenant is a little over 30%. So just quickly on the roles of our partners, BMC, what I do here is BMC coordinates the request for proposals, receives questions. As I mentioned, those come to me, and coordinate responses. We post the responses to the BMC website. We'll receive and distribute proposals to the selection panel, which is made up of the participating housing agencies. BMC pulls the panel together, notifies applicants of awards, and I coordinate the different partners as the development moves forward. We need to go through environmental review, subsidy layer review, closing, that kind of thing. So that's the role of BMC. Then Baltimore Regional Housing Partnership draws interested applicants from the participating housing authority waiting lists, does counseling, does the criminal background check, income verification. You see the different things. And then also, because the innovation of this program is that often two different housing authorities vouchers can be used in the same development. And to make that simple for the owner, BRHP signs the AHAP and the HAP on behalf of the potentially two housing authorities that are contributing vouchers to the program. They also do all the inspections and administer the vouchers. So that's the quick overview. After this session, you can submit any questions to me. We'll post them periodically on the RFP page. We'll post the slides and the attendees as well. And then you want to submit your proposal as one PDF, and we'll consider them on a rolling basis. We meet monthly, and so we'll be able to make awards within 6 weeks of receiving a proposal, with all awards by December 14th. I'm sorry, September 14th. So here's a slide with all our participating agencies. And then the last slide just has my contact information. And so that is the presentation. So why don't I throw it open to questions? If I can check the chat as well, but does anyone have any questions based on that presentation?
And not a specific question to the vouchers themselves, but to the maps. There's some discussion at the state level of considering revisions to the opportunity area of opportunity, community of opportunity maps. Do you guys have any intention to make any changes to the maps in the next coming years?
Pete, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Yes. So one, we are watching very closely to see what DHCD does in terms of their map update, which has been pretty overdue for some time. We, BRHP, we do update our map with some frequency. We have actually been waiting on data from HUD for their picture of subsidized households data to be updated with the 2020 census tracts. Once that occurs, then we are going to be updating our map. And so I think for the purposes of this RFP, the map is sort of locked in place, but for future RFPs, there may be changes that you would see in the opportunity map.
Thanks.
Hi, I have a question about the schools. So I guess two questions. The first one, in the it says that the percent is 53.2, and then you mentioned 51.8. So I just want to make sure, is it 51.8% of students? The threshold is 51.8% of students receiving free and reduced meals.
It is the highest level is 51.8. I believe I'm getting that right, Pete. That is what was the other figure that you mentioned?
The document that was shared, the PDF says 53.2%. And I just want to confirm that's a threshold. So if your site is in a place that has 55% or more students receiving free and reduced meals, then you will not be considered.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. This that is a you know, I'll need to clarify that because now you're pointing out that the figure in the RFP is different.
And there's no exceptions to that. That's just a disqualifying.
That's right. That's right. But we'll need to take a closer look at that and put out a clarification for exactly what the threshold is for that. And actually, it is most likely the case that that I did not, well, let's see. Yeah, well, I think the RFP will govern on this. So that threshold would be, but I will double check and we'll get a clarification posted as soon as we can. We're meeting on Thursday, so we'll get this up hopefully by the end of the week. But we'll get the what the official threshold is and clarification on the scoring thresholds as well. Thanks for pointing that out.
Sure, thanks.
Let's see, I see in the chat, Eric Walsh asked, will you provide vouchers for existing low-income housing tax credit units? And the answer is yes. In fact, that's mostly what, in fact, it may be I think maybe all of the vouchers that we have awarded were in conjunction with, so far, they don't need to be, but they have so far been in conjunction with existing low-income housing tax credit units.
Well, existing versus new construction, is that the crux of that question?
Oh, I see, is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right, and I would think that, well, I guess the Pete, you can help me out on this, but what I'm thinking is that, yeah, that in general, vouchers provide additional affordability. So to the extent that low-income housing tax credit units generally are 50 or 60 affordable at 50 or 60% of area median income. So I think that would be okay if it's an existing unit that's already targeted at 30% AMI, then we would not award a voucher because obviously those tax credits were awarded based on that affordability, and we wouldn't, in the spirit of in the RFP that we don't want to simply replace existing units, we would not award a voucher to a tax credit unit that's already targeted at 30% AMI. So Pete, you agree with that? This is a good question. This is sort of clarifying things that are not addressed in the RFP.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And again, we're meeting on Thursday, so we'll be taking a look, all these questions, and we'll get the final answers up on the website as soon as we can. Any other questions? Okay. Lenita, do you want to introduce yourself and Marcia as participants in the program as well?
Hi, I'm Lenita. I'm the Director of Housing Services for the Housing Commission of Anne Arundel County. So I oversee the administration of our Housing Choice Voucher program and all of our boutique programs, which include state-funded programs like supportive housing programs and HOPWA.
Great. And Marcia, are you? There you go.
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right, good morning. I'm Marcia Parham Green, and I'm the Executive Director of the Baltimore County Office of Housing. And we administer a little over 7,000 vouchers for Baltimore County constituents. And we are excited to be a part of this RFP. And hopefully you will select Baltimore County for your next project. Thank you.
Great. All right, so you get to meet some of our other partners here. Are there any other questions before we wrap up? And if not, I guess we can wrap up. Thanks for the really good questions. We will get these things clarified for you. All right, thanks again for joining, everyone. We'll wrap this up on I'm going to grab the chat stuff before I cancel the meeting, but and feel free to reach out. As I said, you know, feel free to email me if questions come to you after this session.